I love the energy. I'm just extraordinarily pleased to see all the excitement and enthusiasm.
Michael, thank you so much for making the trip. We're actually here in an airplane hangar, which is why you can hear an airplane landing outside. But we're putting Los Angeles back on the Bitcoin map, aren't we?
Go LA! LA is Bitcoin Central.
You know, there's a place called Temple City. It's not too far from here. And there's a place called Santa Barbara, also not too far from here. And that's the last two places that Hal Finney lived. And as far as we can tell, that was pretty integral to the founding of Bitcoin. So this should be Bitcoin territory.
Feels orange to me.
Well, yeah, we've certainly had incredible weather. Very lucky the last couple of days after ungodly amounts of rain brought by the people who are visiting from Seattle and London. Thanks for that earlier in the week. Michael, from the past couple of days, what's something that sticks out to you as just particularly memorable about being out here?
I love the energy. I'm just extraordinarily pleased to see all the excitement and enthusiasm. I've met a ton of people here that have told me about their Bitcoin journey. A lot of times on Twitter, when somebody agrees with you, the little like increment just increments by +1, but you don't know if that's a real person or that's a bot or who knows what that is. So when you actually meet a person in real life that says, oh, I saw what you said, or I saw what you did, or that inspired me, you know, to get into Bitcoin, or that gave me the confidence to hold through a difficult time, I think that makes it all worthwhile. So I'm just really happy to have met each one of you and to have had this experience.
Yeah. You know, the class of 2020 was a heck of a class. In fact, our last two speakers on stage, Lynn and Michael, both came in the class of 2020. We got a lot of new people into a Bitcoin adjacent territory in the bull run last year, and they are now seeing the signs of why perhaps there's something actually going on in Bitcoin that the other stuff doesn't really have to offer. Now, this is kind of an opportunity to strike hard, strike fast, and have no mercy. Did I get that right? Anyway, I love that show. Cobra Kai is awesome. We actually tried to get William Zabka out here, by the way, but couldn't find his agent. When you think about people that are getting into Bitcoin now in 2022, a couple of years later, and then getting into next year, what are some of the opportunities that you see, directions that the industry may take, things that may develop, things that need to be worked on? Just kind of give us a little bit of a forecast of how you see things developing over the next few years.
Well, first of all, what I want to say is when I came in the class of 2020, all the Bitcoiners from the class of 2014 and the class of 2012 and the class of 2016 used to snicker at me on Twitter behind my back, speculating about when I was going to rage quit or fear quit or throw in the towel. And they were laying odds. Saylor's only going to last another 3 months. Justine used to chuckle about whether I would get driven out. I said, Justine, I can hear you talking, right? On Twitter, everybody can hear you. So, and then they say, well, the class of 2020, they got it so easy. Yeah, they didn't live through the block size wars, or they didn't live through the difficult times during the decade. Well, what I have to say to the class of 2022 is, you guys have it so easy. Anybody getting into Bitcoin right now has it so easy, because now I've counted, I've gone through 3 cycles, 3 boom and bust crashes, and I'm, for all the OGs in the room, Today I tweeted that, starting to feel like a Bitcoin veteran. There's still a lot of people that are skeptical about me, but I will have arrived when the Bitcoin OGs say, I guess we're stuck with Saylor from this point forward. And, as for what I think now, look, the asset class is seasoned. When in 2020, there were a lot of questions. There were questions about whether or not this was going to be embraced by regulators, whether this would be banned. A lot of people, there are a lot of legitimate leaders in the United States who said this is going to be banned. They would either say it's going to be banned because it's a Ponzi, they were the deniers, or they said this is going to be banned. Jamie Dimon said it's just too good to be true, so it'll be banned. So there were the people that didn't understand it, and there were the people that understood it but thought it was too good, and so the government would take it away. And then when the China crackdown took place, everybody said, we see China banned it, and so that proves that it's probably going to get taken away. And here we are in 2022, and what you have is a fight between the chair of the SEC and the chair of the CFTC to see who gets to regulate it, or who gets to endorse it. And what's become very clear is you've had the head of the CFTC say this is a commodity. You've had the chair of the SEC say this is a commodity. You have had the Secretary of the Treasury, Janet Yellen, recite the legend of Satoshi in a speech at American University. Right? Satoshi, a person or persons figured out how to transfer value without an intermediary. We now see all the regulators in the Western world have embraced this as an asset class. We've had the chair of the SEC educate the entire working group, the entire cabinet, and most of Congress as to the definition of a commodity. An asset without an issuer, over and over and over again. So the last 24 months have brought mainstream adoption and legitimacy to Bitcoin, and it wasn't there in the middle of 2020. In the middle of 2018 and 2017, we didn't know whether the forks were going to work or if you could fork Bitcoin, and we hadn't settled the basic principle that this was immutable and it should be power to the people and it should not be hijacked by the exchanges or hijacked by everybody that has a decent idea to fix it or improve it. But I think, Len has said this, and I've said it too. I think the outcome of the block size wars was really critical to the success of Bitcoin as the world's greatest monetary asset. So if you were around during the block size wars, and if you fought on the right side of the block size wars, then you're really the OG. You guys should give yourself a hand.